There are many things that make this field different, including gates that are wide enough so wheelchairs can get in. The field is also about a third of the size. The distance between home plate and the fences is about 115 feet, and the distance between bases are about 50 feet. But one of the main things is the surface. The whole field is made out of rubber, and it's made so wheelchairs can go on it easily. It's also soft enough so the ball doesn't bounce as hard and hurt the players. After the tornado, there was a lot of work to be done, but the main office was damaged and didn't have electricity. So they moved from where the inn is, about 100 feet that way, into a temporary location over here. However, Connie tells me that that was actually a good thing because it got her away from the tornado damage, including deteriorating sides, rusting steel, and potholes. And another thing is the guardrail, which isn't exactly good either. The tornado was so strong that it took a roof from this indoor pool and threw it all the way to the highway over here. I also talked with a few students on campus, but they had a different idea. They told me they'd rather keep tuition low and class sizes high because they think they'd still get a similar education. It's the field of dreams. For kids like Cody Dunn, who aren't able to play on typical grass fields, this new ballpark in South Springfield is truly amazing. It's a field designed so that any kid, no matter their physical ability, can play the sport they love.
It's beautiful, just looking at it. Just looking at it just brings back so many memories.
Dunn suffers from spina bifida, which means he has a curve in his back and is paralyzed from the waist down.
But my brain works and my heart works, and that's all you need.
In late October, Dunn got to experience the field along with several kids from the community. The Springfield Park Board and the Rotary Club of North Springfield were also there for a special dedication ceremony.
We wanted this field really bad to happen for this community and to have the only miracle field in the state of Missouri.
There are many things that make this field different, including gates that are wide enough so wheelchairs can get in. The field is also about a third of the size. The distance between home plate and the fences is about 115 feet, and the distance between bases are about 50 feet. But one of the main things is the surface. The whole field is made out of rubber, and it's made so wheelchairs can go on it easily. It's also soft enough so the ball doesn't bounce as hard and hurt the players.
There are no raised surfaces. Everything is painted into the surface. There's nothing that'll trip a child.
Stokes also says they have special balls that make sounds when they roll, so blind children can play as well.
Anyone can play on this field. There's no reason. Blind, Down syndrome, autism, anyone can play on this field. Using guidelines established by the National Miracle League Association, the organizations built the park in about a year and a half. But it took over 6 years of planning and over $300,000. Almost half of that went to the special rubber surface.
Everyone came together and said this community deserves this field.
But the biggest thing about this field is that kids in the Springfield area who couldn't usually play baseball now can. And for Dunn, that's something he can appreciate.
Playing baseball and singing are my two passions. So.
In Springfield, Adam Hammons, Ozarks News Journal. This is Dallas Jones. He's a local farmer and musician who plays in Springfield. One place he often played was Borders.
It was always a great place to book gigs for people that I know would come that normally wouldn't come to see me in a bar or someplace, far, another town or something. It was always a place my family could come.
The national chain Borders filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy in mid-February. They announced over 200 stores which would be closed, including the one in Springfield. For Jones, this means he'll have to find another place to play his music.
For me as a musician, it's sad because that's just another venue that was providing a good place for people to play, that was, family friendly and early and really willing to work with people to get them in there, and it's just another one that's gone.
As for the economy, some believe the closing won't have much of an impact locally or nationally.
Basically what happens is people don't spend their money at Borders and then they save it and they spend it someplace else.
Wyrick says that the sales of books and movies online on websites such as Amazon.com could have been the reason that Borders stores such as this one and others across the nation have closed.
Amazon is very aggressive. They'll try to, underprice the competitors and no sales tax, so it's very difficult for companies to compete with them.
Wyrick said other retailers across the nation have also felt competition from Amazon, including Walmart. As for Jones, there are other places to play in Springfield, but he says there's not many quite like Borders.
The more I talk about it, the more I realize I am going to miss it quite a bit.
In Springfield, I'm Adam Hammons, Ozarks News Journal.
MSU is in a fix.
So we're looking to fill a $15 million hole.
That was interim president Cliff Smart talking about the original cut that would have hit MSU next fall. Since then, the proposal has decreased to around 8%, but that's still a significant cut. And for MSU, who already has a $5 million deficit, a further cut decrease would be nice.
I'm confident the governor's office is still looking to find ways maybe to bring that cut down, and that's why I say we're just at the beginning of this.
But even if it goes down, the school still has got to find new revenue. Smart says that boils down to decreasing education quality or raising tuition.
Last week I met with 14 student leaders, and we talked about cost and maintaining quality. And I came out of there convinced that quality was just as important as cost.
I also talked with a few students on campus, but they had a different idea. They told me they'd rather keep tuition low and class sizes high because they think they'd still get a similar education.
Just as long as I'm learning what I'm supposed to learn, I don't think I need to pay a buttload of money. I'm going to hear it from the same teacher, unless they're a bad teacher, but you're going to learn what you learn.
But while MSU debates on what they will do with a possible cut, State Congress is still trying to finalize a 2013 budget. And one senator says decreasing the cut to higher education is a priority.
I think it's important that we look 3, 4, 5 years down the road and where do we want to be and base our decisions on that rather than just the current immediate political situation.
And for Smart, his priority is to try and keep MSU what it is, even with less funding.
Missouri State University's got to continue to be Missouri State University. It can't be a lesser product with that name.
It's been over a month since the tornado hit Kimberling City.
Every aspect of the resort basically was hit.
And for Connie Gutting and the Kimberling City Inn, there's a lot of work to be done. And with about 300 rooms they do have to clean up, filled with anything in a motel room like ceiling fans, lamps, couches, pretty much anything you can think of. As you can imagine, there's a lot to clean up.
Now there's like 100 people working at all, various locations trying to get it up and running again. So we're hoping.
But they aren't the only ones looking forward to them opening. With the inn closed, the housekeepers are out of a job. That's around 15 workers on unemployment.
They are laid off temporarily until we get back in business because there was nothing for them to do.
Guests are also out of luck.
You're looking at what was the indoor pool.
Especially people who booked months in advance for fishing tournaments or even fraternity vacations.
Finding a hotel that lets fraternity go there for a weekend is tough just because it's a lot of guys.
As for the city, it is a hit on tax revenue and the amount of tourists. But the mayor at the time of the tornado, who also owns his own business in town, says he's not too worried.
The other resorts will fill up and take up the slack, and we'll still have the significant tourist population that we expect.
Gutting says they're looking to reopen in mid-July, something she is looking forward to.
No Kimberling Inn, there would, to me, be no Kimberling City, because this is the major part of Kimberling City to me.
In Kimberling City, Adam Hammons, Ozarks News Journal.